Hello, Aquarius. It is time for your mid-March update, March 2025. We'll start off with an astrology card this month to see what your primary energy or theme is in the second half. And we have the waning gibbous moon. Waning gibbous moon is where the moon is shrinking, or at least waning. Waning. It means that it is turning into the new moon or going back to the new moon's phase. And it's kind of the first stage of that. So this is when things seem like they're getting smaller. It's the things maybe starting to feel like they're hidden, like things are a little bit off, and you may feel like you are being ignored or somebody's not being fully communicative with you. But it's not an intentional thing necessarily. They're just you and them may just be a little bit less reserved. Maybe you're not sharing you're not communicating about how you feel about certain things. You're not being open and honest there. And this would be a good time to have that type of a conversation before things get obscured, if you will, and it develops into something a little bit more a bigger misunderstanding than it needs to be. That's what it is. So communicate, make sure that you are all on the same page, and don't infuse this, or don't believe that this is all intentional and you're being purposely excluded, because that's not what's happening here. Just need to let people know you're available. Maybe they thought you were scheduled for something, so they didn't invite you. Just let it be open about your schedule and about how you feel about your feeling. Say, hey, I feel like I'm being ignored here. What's going on? And they'll be like, oh, no. We didn't know that you needed to know or wanted to know this information. We weren't intentionally excluding it. We just forgot about it. Could be in many different things, but talk about it. Bring it up. All right, so for your cards, we're starting off with the 5 of Jazz, the Knight of Jazz, the 10 of Blues, the 6 of Jazz, and the 10 of Jazz. That's a lot of jazz going on, Aquarius. That's a lot of fire. Jazz is the equivalent of wands. So maybe your communication has to do with another fire sign. So Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. Could be a Leo where you're both too stubborn to admit that you're not sure what's going on, potentially. So talk to them about it. Don't let it simmer, and don't let it turn into something it doesn't need to be. All right, let's get into each of these individual cards. We're starting off here with the 5 of Jazz, which is a card that could indicate there's some competition going on. And if you want to come out on top, the advice here is to focus on your own work, focus on what it is you bring to the table. And try not to be distracted by all the other people who are competing for the same thing, because they will try to throw you off your game. They may, and maybe this is where the miscommunication comes in, potentially. Gain clarity on exactly what is expected here. If there's any confusion about what you should be delivering, or people are trying to mislead you potentially, gain clarity from the person that you are, or the committee, or whatever it is that you are trying to succeed or gain recognition from in some way. Make sure you thoroughly understand the rules to the best of your ability. Don't let somebody else, or don't always assume that everybody else knows what all the rules are. That's what it is. Don't assume that everybody else in the competition fully understands all of the rules, because they may not. And that's just because they don't understand the legalese, or they don't understand, or maybe they didn't get the latest version of the document. So you need to focus on getting your own information, making sure you are clear on it. You do not necessarily have to share that with your competition if it is a competition. But if you have friends involved in this, you may want to share it with them so that you're all on the same playing field from your perspective. That feels right for that. And then we have this Knight of Jazz, eager to get out there and try things out. They will keep going and keep going. They'll fall down, they'll get bruised, they'll pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and keep going again. They're very enthusiastic. So this could be somebody around you, or somebody that you're working with. Maybe the person where things are not clear and that you guys are trying to work things out. Again, a fire sign potentially, or somebody who has this very bold energy, very active energy, somebody who seems like very much like a risk taker, whereas you may like to have a plan in place. You may be very methodical in a way, or at least you want to read all the information before you dive in. That's why you gain clarity usually on the rules and regulations. Whereas this person is just going to try, and if they fail, they'll try again. If they fail, they'll try again until they figure it out and get it right. When you're in the night stage of development, let's say you are kind of like you just graduated college or high school or whatever. So you have the paper, you have the degree, you know what you're supposed to be doing, and now, but you haven't any experience yet. So they're just figuring it out by doing and acting and making risky decisions, but that's what works for them. That's their process. It doesn't have to be your process. So this could be frustrating you a little bit if you're trying to work with them in any way because they're just going off and trying stuff. But that's the way they do things. That's the way they learn. You can still do your own thing, and they will respect that. They don't expect you to copy them, or they shouldn't be expecting you to copy them exactly. Because they, as a fire sign, you're usually pretty independent and know that everybody has their own way of doing things. So don't feel obligated to follow them into the fire, is another way to put it. And then we have this 10 of Blues card. When it comes to your family, your chosen family, your born family, whatever it is for you, this is a solid space for you. This is where you know you can count on these people. You know that there's a lot of support here, and you support them. You guys are all on the same page. You're encouraging each other in all your different accomplishments. This is love. This is family. There's significance in this deck with the porches, the cards with porches on them. A porch is part of the house, but it's not in the house. It's a part of the community at the same time. It's like a liminal space. So there's an impression here that maybe you are inviting community into your house, or at least up onto your porch to talk and brainstorm maybe, or you're inviting family into this endeavor that you're working on. So out of the house, you're getting them out of the house, at least onto the porch where you guys can discuss things and maybe what feels like neutral ground, or at least a cooling ground, or where you're all just feel more grounded and calmer to have some intense discussions if you need to have them. I also get this vibe of a lazy summer day sipping lemonade out on the porch, just hanging out and talking about things, kind of in a casual way, but deep conversations. So these may need to be the conversations to make sure everybody's on the same page and everybody's feeling included. Because maybe somebody else is feeling excluded or ignored by you too. So be open with that. You know you have the support here. You know this is a comfortable space for you to have that conversation. And then we have this 6 of Jazz card, which is a victory card. This is a card where you have had so much success that people are acknowledging that. People are celebrating that with you. People are inspired by you to make changes in their lives or follow in a similar path. So it could be that you come out on top in this competition by being you, being very thorough with understanding what it is that needed to be done. Now you're inspiring others. Now people look to you for maybe some advice, although they may not want to approach you right away because they want you to have your moment. Your moment to shine, your moment to take center stage and show off the work that you've done. So do that. Be proud of yourself and show off a little bit. And then we have the 10 of Jazz. Now the 10 of Jazz in the fire suit, this is indicated maybe you are taking on or could be in danger of taking on more than you should. More than you are responsible for, even potentially here. So be aware of saying yes to a lot of different things. In fact, you may be this would be the time to return some things, to handle responsibilities back to somebody else who's maybe come back to work, but they were avoiding taking all their stuff back. No. It's time for them to take that back. That is not your responsibility. It is theirs. So they need to do it. They need to get it done. And that is going to free you up, because this is maybe where you're feeling a little bit trapped, and maybe this could also potentially be part of this communication. Have I used the word potential enough? Just asking. This is an area with all that fire energy. You are there's a sense of enthusiasm and a desire to help and a desire to just say, yeah, I can do that. Sure. But eventually you have to stop and recognize, okay, this is more than I can handle. This is more than I want to handle. This is dragging me down and preventing me from succeeding at the things that I want to do. So there's a sense, okay, it's time to put this down. This is not mine. You need to take it back. You need to lighten your load so that you can keep moving forward, keep marching on. That's what that's about. All right, Aquarius, that is what I have for you for your mid-March update. Please hit that like button. Please share this with others. Please comment below to let me know if that resonated with you or not, or if I used the word potential enough. Please subscribe to help me grow my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.